Hey crafty friends, it's Rick. I'm back with another video. Today we are featuring products from Missing Stamps. We're going to be using the Snow Wizard stamp set and the coordinating die along with the Horizon Pine. I use this image right here. We're going to also be using the Classic Knit stencil, the Lots of Letters mini die set, and the Tags die set to create some holiday tags. I've already cut out my snowman and my little pine trees to color up. I'm going to be using Spectrum Noir Tri-Blend brush markers today to do my coloring. So we're going to start off with our little snowman's, robe. I'm going to lay in my darkest color first. I've already colored the other two sets off screen. We're going to be making 3 tags. So I wanted to show y'all how you could take and make some real cute, easy, wizard-themed gift tags for the holidays. So we're going to lay in our darkest color. Then I will switch over to my medium. And I'm coloring all of these the same as I did the other 2 sets. So that way everything is nice and cohesive. And yes, I am still hoarse if you have watched any of my other videos recently. So we're going to come in with our lightest color. I'll blend everything together. In between his little fingers. All right, next up, I'm going to color my little snowman. So I'm going to come in with my darkest color, which is a blue teal. And I do see that I just forgot our rest of our little cape. I'll come back and get that in a second. I'm going to blend that out with a BT3. Just doing simple coloring, nothing fancy. I'll blend that out with BT1. And then I will use a colorless blender to soften that edge and blend everything together. I do have some Christmas products coming from Missing Stamps. They just didn't arrive, and they won't arrive until Monday. And my videos due today. So we will do another Christmas card or 2 using those products once they get here. All right, I'm coming back to that lightest color. Blend that out. We're going to do our hat next. So I'm going to come in with my darkest color, which is a golden brown. And it's a number 10, which is for Spectrum Noir. Their color goes, the higher the number, the darker the color. Lower the number, the lighter the color. All right, we're going to come in with a 9 in that same color family. And we will blend that out. I wanted it to kind of look like the hats in the movie. Like he's being sorted into a house. Which is why I chose this color. All right, let's do while we have this out, we'll go ahead and do his little hands. His twigs on his hands. So I'm just going to use those last 2 colors. I'll just blend that all together. I'm going to come back with my darkest gray and just come right over his mouth and little eyes, those coals. I'm going to do his little carrot nose next. So we're just going to use an orange for that. And then for my little owl, I'm going to do him like a white snow owl. So I'm coming in with ice gray 1, 3, 1, 2, and 1. And I'll soften that out. Then we'll blend that with our colorless blender. Now for his scarf, you can do it in whatever school color you want. You could do the green and the whatever Slytherin is. And Hufflepuff is yellow, and then there's the blue, and then we're going to do Gryffindor, so we're going to do red and gold, because that's the one I like. And my house was actually Gryffindor on the little contest, not contest, the little test you do online. Tell you what house you're sorted into. So we'll go ahead and blend that out with our medium tone of our red. And then our lightest. Just give him some little stripes on his little scarf. And then I'm going to use a golden yellow for the other stripes. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this all the way in with our light. Then I'm going to come in with my dark. Add my shadows in there for our golden stripes of our scarf. Then we'll blend that out. Just like so. All right, we're going to do our little pine trees next. And I'm going to start off with my darkest color. I'm going to add that right at the tip and right where each section of the trees overlap. So let's come in there. Get each one of these little sections. I am going to add some glitter to our trees to make it look like snow. But we'll do that at the very end so that it doesn't get everywhere. All right, I'm going to come in with my medium tone. So we're just going to fill that. Blend those together. And I kind of give it a little bit of a flick so that it looks more like pine as well. But again, we're doing simple coloring to make this easy for everyone. All right, we're going to come in with our lightest color. And then I'm just going to come right over all of that. So we'll just blend these last two trees. just like so. Now I will cut everything out with the matching dies and be right back. All right. I have already cut out all of our pieces. I did go ahead and stamp some snowflakes and die cut those as well as while I was die cutting. But I went ahead and cut my tags. I did the largest die from the tag die set. I did the largest one from watercolor cardstock, as well as the little backer. I cut that from some red, green, and brown cardstock, and the same thing as my envelopes, because they're going to be like Christmas cards that have been delivered, is my thought. So we're going to start off by adding a little texture to our tags. So we've got our knit stencil, and I'm going to use some tea dye ink to just add a subtle aged looking knit pattern in the background. You could also do this, add just spray if you wanted to. That would be really pretty. But I'm going to keep them all the same and make it nice and easy. Except for our color of our envelopes and our toppers. So we'll go ahead and do this one right here. We got our second tag. And you can see just from what we've already done how quick these will go together. And you can do your ink blending as dark or as light as you would like. I'm doing more of a gradient look, because I am going to stamp our sentiment on our tags as well when we get closer to being done. We'll do our last one right here. So there's our knit pattern. I think we're going to add a little ink around the edge. It has more of a dreamy look. That way it'll add a little bit of age and texture to our tag. And I like blending on the watercolor cardstock because the ink moves super easily. You get if you ever have problems getting an ink blend to blend, try it on watercolor cardstock, because that actually it blends a little better. It sits on the ink sits on top of the surface of your paper a little longer, which allows it to blend a little easier for you. So there's our tags. All right, the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and add the reinforcers to each. And the die does actually make a little score line right there so that you know where to fold it. I'm just getting some tweezers so that I can hold it. I'm just going to add a little liquid glue on each side. Then I'll take my tag, slide it on there. Then you can decide what ribbon or twine or all that you would like to add to your tags. Before I add my Christmas trees or my trees, I'm going to take and add my glitter. So I'm just going to take a two-way glue pen, add that where I want my snow to be on each of my little trees. And I can take and dip that in. Can even add some to our snowmen if we want to make them a little bit more glistened. Just all little things that you can do to dress up your tags. think I am going to add a little glitter to each of our snowmen. And some to the brim of our little hats. The top of our little scarf. Maybe a little to our little owl's head. Move these out of the way. All right, we've got all of our glitter on our pieces. I'm going to go ahead and start by adding my trees to my tag. And I'm going to go kind of right in there on each one of them. You could pop these up if you wanted to. It's all up to you how you want your tags to look. Before we add our snowman, I'm going to take and stamp the sentiment on each tag, because I am going to pop our snowman up, and then we're going to finish off by embellishing with our other parts and pieces. And I'm going to use the sentiment, Walking in a Winter Wonderland. And that's pretty good for a tag, because you could use it for Christmas, birthday, or Christmas, or you could use it for winter birthdays or anything like that. So we'll stamp that. All right, there's our little tags. I'm going to go ahead and pop on some foam squares to our snowman. And then I'll pop one of those onto each of my little tags. So I'll peel each of those backings off. And then just by changing the position of each of your little snowmen, it gives your tag a little bit of a different look. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do our letters. And I cut out each of the letters. I also cut out one of the little wax seals as well, because that way they would all have their little seals. And I cut the largest one and one of the medium size of each of our envelopes. There's several in the set. I'm going to grab my pickup tool. So I'm going to add a little dot of glue to them. I'm just going to add a different color to each one. So that they're all different. So we're going to go ahead and start adding our little envelopes. And I'm just starting with the largest ones first. And I will alternate the colors so that each one has a touch of each of our colors on our tags. Then I will add a couple snowflakes. To our tags as well. So now all we have to do is add our twine or ribbon. I'm going to do twine. I have some burlap twine. And I have some red and white twine. I'm just going to cut off some of each. Then I will make a loop. I'll run it through each of our tags. Pull that loop through. And we'll just do a slip knot. So all to do is just pull that through the top of our little knot and pull. And there is our finished piece. I will do the rest of these and be right back. All right, my friends, here are a look at all 3 tags we just made together. I'll pull each one of them up to the camera so you can get a closer look. You have plenty of room to write a message on the back. I hope that you give this a try. And if you like any of the products, you will find them all linked and listed below in the video description. I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys. Stay crafty. Love you.